Welcome back to Ernée, the French Grand Prix, round 8 of the FIM MX1 Motocross World Championship. You join us live from the circuit, and we're getting ready for what hopefully should be another memorable MX1 race, mirroring or bettering the race one between Gauthier Paulin and Tony Cairoli, because the show that they put on was just mesmerizing, and the crowd and the atmosphere was absolutely electric. And if we get anything as good as that for race 2, then we'll all go home happy this weekend. We're about 45 minutes west of Le Mans, here for this French Grand Prix at Ernée. The last time we came here, it was Max Nagel who was victorious with 2 moto victories when he was riding for Red Bull KTM that time, but the German been looking to improve on his 8th place finish in moto number 1. He started 16th, dropped to 19th, and then pulled it back. And of course, for the second half of the race, him and Tommy Searle were locked in an all-out war as they fought over 7th place. Tommy Searle just getting the better of the German on his CLS Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki. But the talk of moto number 1 was Gauthier Paulin and Tony Cairoli as they duked it out for all 20 laps that were raced earlier on. And as I said a moment ago, we get anything like that, we'll be happy.
Hey, I'm MXGP, I ride for Yamaha Monster Energy.
Hi, I'm Xavier Borg and I ride for KTM MX1 Racing.
Maxime Dupre and Xavier Borg then are going to take us for a lap around this Ernée circuit. Pretty long start straight here, actually nice and wide, then it tightens up pretty much 90 degrees through here. Through the right onto the plateau, then the tabletop, then the ground falls away off camber through there until it levels out about now. Go to the inside, you've got that little mogul to have to negotiate. Then we have the Monster Energy triple jump. Pretty spectacular there. That bank absolutely full of fans this weekend. Through the right-hander. Choice of lines, inside or outside. Then we have the double step down. You make it, you're going wide. If you don't make it, you're going inside. Either way, you've got the Monster Energy wave section coming out next, double, and then jumping up onto the plateau to make this left-hander. Drops downhill immediately, over a little step down before getting on the gas and braking hard for this right-hand turn. 180 degrees, and then on the gas through some waves. Jumping about now, jumping up into the top, landing now, hard on the brakes, one of the trickiest corners on the track, especially as we funnel through that little chicane, through a little G out over a camelback. Look at the rocks just laying out all on the circuit. Uphill, off camber, left-hander, we've seen Jordi Tixier and Gauthier Paulin crash there so far this weekend at different times. Then you've got a little step down, kiss off the bank if you want to get out early on the line that Xavier Borg used, or you can use the other side. Either way, you're into the waves. Then the Monster Energy tabletop just here, highest end of the circuit, right in front of the energy station. Drop down, look at the ruts on there, caught out Jeffrey Hurlings yesterday. Then it's hard on the brakes into this bottom corner. Most riders now favouring the inside. Up over the jump, onto the ridge, into this tight right. Most riders now running out to the outside, as Maxime Dupre is, and then switching it back to the inside, because all out there on the right-hand side now, chewed up big holes. Not pretty. Out of the final corner, then it's a drag down to the finish line jump. Just here, which is a downhill step. 2 more corners follow before they rejoin at turn 1. Gives you some idea of the lap then, of that's what it looks like on paper. Off the start, intermediate 1 just before the double step down, and then right at the top end of the circuit over the little double before they turn right across the top. Here's the second intermediate split, and then down towards the finish line. Here's the third and final split. There's Gauthier Paulin, sorry, there's Commander Sal, number 25, and Rui Gonçalves, 999. Xavier Borg, who we were just on board with a moment ago, 121, so the 2 Ice 1 racing KTMs either side of the Rockstar Energy Suzuki of Commander South. There's your winner from race 1, Gauthier Paulin. 2 Grand Prix wins so far this year, Portugal and Bulgaria. There is a picture of concentration, trying to block out everything, and I mean everything. It's his calm before the storm for Gauthier Paulin. Tony Cairoli, a little bit fidgety as normal, just going through his own personal motions, making sure every little grain of dirt out from the goggles sometimes just drops in unknowingly. Nothing worse, is there, when you put your goggles on and find there's a little speck of dirt in there. Again, just lifting back his head there just to make sure there is no dirt in there. Makes him wave, fanning away across the hillside there. These guys really fired up. We're all fired up as well as we get ready to go racing here. MX1 and race 2. Here's Kenny Dyker, number 9, right at the inside. Alongside him, David Guarneri. And David Philipparts, I think that was, number 19, just alongside. Just saw the one, but the yellow clothing distinctive of what Philipparts wore in moto number 1. Monster Energy 15-second board is up. Dave Nichol, our race director from the FIM, will give the signal any moment now for that board to be hoisted up to 5. Music is pumping out, the fans are on their feet, the gate about to drop. And it's another good jump from Tony Cairoli as he cuts across again. The Suzuki, oh, we've got 4 or 5 guys going down. And we've got the 2 Hondas in there, Van Hoorbeek's in there, Barragan's in there, Santu Tienen and Rui Gonçalves. And Max Nagel shakes his head, his teammate Bobashev disappears. Oh, thought there was one of the Suzukis was going to get landed on there, but looks like Paulin's made a decent start. So Borg second, to South third, Strybos fourth, to Dyker fifth, and then Paulin just alongside Tommy Searle as they come through the wave section. But Tony Cairoli knows it's his time to disappear now. He won't want to make the same mistake he made in moto number 1, but Gauthier Paulin is seen in around about 6th or 7th place, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Just trying to count them really quickly as they go through there. We're on board with DeSalle. He's in 3rd place at the moment. So 4th Strybos, 5 to Dyker, 6. Oh, Paulin runs into the back of number 39, David Guarneri. And look at that. Guys are sprawled out all over the place in that next turn. One of them, 132, team Milko Podizek. But Gauthier Paulin just losing a little bit of ground there up in that top left-hander. Tommy Searle came unstuck, so too did Paulin. But DeSalle, 3rd. And his teammate Kevin Strybos just behind him in 4th, but for how much longer? Because the Dyker goes storming down and fights back. Does Strybos. Paulin, just, let's see if Paulin's found a way through at the top of the hill there. Well, over the line, it's Cairoli, Xavier Borg, Commander South, Kevin Strybos in 4th, Dyker 5th, Tommy Searle is in 6th place, Guarneri 7th, Paulin 8th, and Hoorbeek 9th. Great stuff. Great recovery from Van Hoorbeek. Fabien Iswai is 10th, Gregor Ander is 11th, Cedric Subarat 12th, Nick Oban is 13th, Charles Lefrancois 14th, Lurk Lyons 15th. Look how many French guys are in there, right the way down from Fabien Iswai in 10th. And then Rui Gonçalves just getting tagged there, look, taking out the 2 Hondas, Jonathan Barragan and Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, number 89, and Van Hoorbeek is already up to 9th place, just behind Gauthier Paulin. Nagel just shakes his head in disbelief. Philipparts was one of those guys that went down, he's been cleaned up. Look at that, the radiator damage on the left side of that Honda CRF 450. The Garibaldi Honda rider is out of race 2. Gauthier Paulin, though, stayed out of trouble at the first turn, but ran into it halfway around the lap. But only cost him a position, and he's got that right back because Guarneri was the guy who capitalised. And Van Hoorbeek now trying to find a way through. Obviously having a word with one of the other mechanics there from another team, so I'm guessing there was a little bit of tag team going on there between Philipparts and maybe Tommy Searle, it might have been. So we'll hope to see if we get a replay on that anywhere else out on field. But there's Dyker going back after Strybos. So Cairoli leads, Borg second, DeSalle third, 22 Strybos, the second of the yellow machines in fourth, number 9 in white, Kenda Dyker in fifth for Red Bull KTM. And then sixth is Tommy Searle on the CLS Monster Energy Pro Circuit. Kawasaki there, just going through at number 100. That's him at the back of the straight now. Then it's Gauthier Paulin who's found a way through. Van Hoorbeek now 8th, Guarneri 9th, and Aranda is 10th on the Bud Racing Rockstar. De Dyker finding a way through, getting the shortcut through the first turn. And misses a gear there as well. Coming out of the turn there, he hadn't realised. And a big Ken De Dyker foot stamping down on the gear lever. Engaging gear again. Tony Cairoli, though, already at the end of this straight. That's the fastest lap of the race so far. Guarneri, number 39, and Van Hoorbeek. Van Hoorbeek just had the momentum around the outside as Guarneri just steadied himself in the ruts. And who's this going out here? Charles Francois, 225. Commander South all over the rear wheel of 121, Xavier Borg. Borg making his return after injury for Ice One Racing KTM, and doing a pretty good job out there at the moment. Is the 121, but where was he in Moto number 1? Finished down in 14th place. Those ruts there, that's what the riders face. You have to be committed or just have to back out of the challenge coming down that hill to the left hand side. Barrigan out. Rode to bike off yesterday. Mechanic almost revving it as if so. Don't really know if there's anything wrong with that or not, but Steve Turner, I know he wants more from Barrigan after talking to him at Fox Hills last week and in Brazil. The previous Grand Prix, of course, Fox Hills was a British Championship round. Commander Salvo still trying to find a way past Xavier Borg. See the difference in lines there. Xavier Borg cutting through the first turn and across the apex of the plateau at turn 2. It was like DeSalle hit a tough block there, yeah. Water flicked up onto the lens of the camera, and it would have been right in the face of the lens as well. So where we had rain last night, it's obviously hit something there, and the rain has just picked up off the tough block, off the top of one of those bags that protect it, and instantly threw water up in the face of Commander South. Goes down the inside though, Xavier Borg goes wide to get the slingshot and regain some of that distance lost, but there's the Dyker in fourth. Tommy Searle, great line, great drive from the Kawasaki rider, and he leans and makes the most of it as well, past 22, Kevin Strybos. Normally you wouldn't find a way through there, but Tommy Searle did, and he's going after De Dyker, DeSalle and Xavier Borg as he moves up into, what, 5th place on the green Kawasaki there. Here's Strybos, he's now in 6th position. So Tommy Searle really got the bit between his teeth. DeSalle looking to find a way around Xavier Borg. Nothing wrong with the power of that Ice One Racing KTM. Owned by Kimi Räikkönen, of course. Oh, and a mistake. And DeSalle, he goes down the inside, but then gets hung up coming out of the left-hander. And immediately, Xavier Borg responds and fights back. And Ken De Dyker now all over the back. I'm just wondering if he's going to show his wheel down here. No. Oh, face full of roost from De Dyker as DeSalle tries to panic rev Xavier Borg into making a mistake. He locked up the rear wheel of Zatsuki, hand on the gas, clutch in. But 121, Xavier Borg didn't even flinch. A little bit too close down there. Front wheel to back wheel for DeSalle, who doesn't make the triple. De Dyker makes it though, no problem, and tries to steam his way up the inside of his fellow Belgian. Down the inside there as well. But so far though, Tony Cairoli is away with this one. 9.5 seconds clear of Borg. Commander South Charges down the inside of Xavier Borg, and De Dijker is going to follow at the top of the hill. So from second to fourth, and maybe even fifth for Xavier Borg. Obviously, he had a little bit of time off the bike recently. Maybe just struggling for a little bit of racecraft and a little bit of fitness out on track. Strybos just off the back of that group in sixth position, and Paulin there in seventh. Not making a good start. Those guys running some kind of traction device that pulls both the front and the rear down just to maybe help them get out of the line. It worked in moto number one. Maybe the reaction wasn't so good from Paulin this time around in the second moto. But all bunching up now. De Salle, De Dijker, Borg, Tommy Searle here, number 100 in fifth position. Looking to try and pick up a third place finish at least here. That'll be nice for him. That'll be the first in MX1 for him. Tommy Searle has been fourth on two previous occasions. Second moto in Thailand, second moto in Portugal. In terms of overalls for Tony Cairoli, for Tommy Searle, they were good enough for fourth and fifth overall on those occasions. So trying to find a way past 121, Xavier Borg at the moment, but Borg, the Frenchman, 121 there on the Ice One Racing KTM. Not making it easy for this kid here, number 100, Tommy Searle, who gets over the triple jump. Sense a bit more urgency from Tommy Searle this weekend. Kurt Gibbons, nice line there. Kurt Gibbons' his trainer back home in Derby. I know he's going to be watching this weekend. Maybe got to work with him. Just helping him reach his peak. Oh, front end into the hole, but doesn't deter him. Gets a good slingshot and up the inside. Oh, bar bagging stuff there from Searle and Xavier Borg, but he finds a way through in a fourth place. So now that he's here behind Ken De Dijker, Tommy Searle there, 100, you think, yeah, podium looking good here for the race. All I've got to do is pick off Ken De Dijker, and if I can, go after Clement de Salle and maybe even take second. Tony Cairoli already nearly 12 seconds clear. Watch this here. Hits a hole around about now. Almost a Clement de Salle moment a la Portugal. We all remember that one well, don't we? There's Paulin, struggling to get on terms with the leaders at the moment. He's in seventh, is the Factory Kawasaki rider, up on the pegs nicely through that deep rut. The rear wheel do all the work, soak up all the bumps, but this kid here, Tony Cairoli, going in search of his 59th Grand Prix career victory here at Ernée. And when he's in this kind of form, you know, Tony Cairoli, it's very difficult to doubt him, isn't it? Down to him then just to make a mistake, but De Salle got himself clear in second. 3 seconds clear, in fact, of his fellow countryman, Ken De Dijker. There is De Dijker. He knows he's got his hands full with Tommy Searle, and you know he's going to start looking back over his shoulder in a minute to see exactly who it is there. I'm sure the pit crew would have been doing their job as well, but 23 minutes to go. Nice line from Tommy Searle. Out of the bank early. This time, no pitch going into the corner. Out there nice and early. Smoother run going up the first part of the hill. Closes in on the big tall Belgian, Ken De Dijker. Squares off the turn there as well. Got some really nice, interesting lines as Tommy Searle. Doubling his way through at the end of that straight. All over the back of De Dijker now. Doubling his way through. Onto the final ledge. Out of that right-hander. Gnarly set of wave section there. Nothing too intricate or difficult, but the angles are pretty steep, and the riders do get pitched as Tommy Searle. Not going to do anything here. De Dijker already making his way to the inside. Sweeping in from across the right-hand side there. Even there, look, nice line from Tommy Searle. Out of the rut early, across the ridge. He is really going to town, is Tommy Searle. Best I've seen him ride all year, actually, so far. The CLS Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki rider. Maybe he's just started to believe himself in himself as well as an MX1 rider. The fitness has now started to come his way. He looks like he's started to gel with the bike, getting used to the big power on the 450 KXF. Even there, just cutting across turn 2. Looking good. Dijker certainly not making it easy for him. DeSalle going in the opposite direction, under the bridge now. There's that line again. It's coming. Tommy Searle, we know he's more than capable. And Jean-Jacques Lassetti has pretty much said himself, and there was a line there. He looked like he was lining him up. And at the top of the hill, I think Tommy Searle has found a way through, or maybe, oh, very, very tight. Just saw a flash in the background. Tommy Searle getting a good slingshot out of that right-hander at the bottom of the hill. This time, is he going to go wide here? Try and get out of there early. Oh, just a little bit too deep. Well, he had his hands full with Max Nagel in moto number 1. Nagel down in 14th at the moment after picking himself up at turn 1. So it's Cairoli, DeSalle, Dijker, Searle. We're looking at Dijker and Searle now, battling at 3rd and 4th, the number 9 and the number 100. Then we've got Xavier Borg in 5th, Paulin is 6th, Strijbos 7th, Van Hoorbeek is 8th, and a mistake from Dijker. He runs on. Searle was perfectly placed, and he slots neatly into 3rd place now. So Cairoli, DeSalle, Searle. They top 3, Dijker 4th, Borg 5th, Paulin 6th, Strijbos 7th, Van Hoorbeek 8th, Guarneri 9th, Gregory Aranda is 10th, Geli Bobashev is now 11th, Oban is 12th, Subarat 13, Nagel 14, then it's Iswad, Gonçalves, Leonce, Roulons, Caro and Ulrich. They're your top 20 guys out on track at the moment. And there's Paulin trying to find himself onto the rear wheel of this guy here, Xavier Borg. Simpson out as well. Philippart's out, Milko Podisek out, Jonathan Barragan all out in the early laps of this race. Paulin really not making it easy for himself in the second moto. He was high on adrenaline. He was high on adrenaline in the first one. The crowd really carrying him home. We're getting ready to go down to pit lane though. Ice One Racing, Antti Pyränen.
Antti, Xavier's just lost a few positions, but we know he was returning this week from injury. How's his form?
Yeah, his form is getting better and better, of course. And yesterday he had a great qualifying. He finished 3rd, and first moto, unfortunately, he didn't have such a good start and made few mistakes. So now second moto started out well, and he's currently 5. So I believe he can keep that position.
Nice to see him back for his home Grand Prix. Thanks, Antti.
Antti Pyränen, former MX3 Grand Prix rider, and of course 125, 250 MX1. He's done a lot as Pyränen, now team manager for Ice One Racing KTM. But just working out here, the overall scenario, Cairoli would be on 47 with a 2nd and a 1st, 22 points and 25 points. DeSalle would be 2nd overall with a 3rd and a 2nd, as Paulin goes down the inside of Xavier Borg, but not succeeding. And then it'd be Paulin 3rd at the moment on 40 with a 25 and a 15th. That's the 6th position that he currently resides in at the moment. So he needs to find a way past Xavier Borg. That'll get him another point, but he will still be behind Commander South, so he's really got to go after Kenta Dijker to be sure of 2nd place. Well, he's found a way up the inside of Xavier Borg. Nicely done there. Out of that final turn, nice and tight, but Borg fighting back. Not going to run his former teammate wide there, though, is he? Ooh, not getting over the double. Single combination there, Gauthier Paulin. But he's got Kenta Dijker right where he wants him now. And to Dijker, well, look how much time Tommy Searle's made on him, so you can only assume that to Dijker now starting to tire as Paulin looking to pick up another position. Gauthier Paulin then has 17 minutes plus 2 laps to do something about the guys there. Oh, knack in his way off the drop-off. Gauthier Paulin survives a lucky escape there. Just caught his foot peg. Pulled his leg over the side of the bike, but not all the way over. Just watch this. Out the turn. Yeah, just caught it there, look. Upper body strength put to good use there from Gauthier Paulin. Keeps it on bike and then gets his head down as if nothing's happened. That's usually the way. He'll register it as a nearly moment, but he's managed to stay ahead of Xavier Bourg. Get his eyes firmly focused on Ken de Dijker, just ahead of him in 4th place. Tommy Searle is in 3rd position at the moment, but Cairoli 12.5 seconds clear of Commander Sal, who we're on board with. Tommy Searle just another 3 seconds further back. So can we see Tommy Searle challenge Commander Sal in the remaining 15 minutes of this race? 15.5 minutes plus 2 laps remain. MX1 race 2, round 8 of the FIM MX1 Motocross Grand Prix Championship Series. And Davide Guarneri, number 39 on the Marchetti Racing KTM, runs wide, allowing Evgeny Bobashev an easy passage up into 9th position. But these two, you feel, are going to go banging bars over the next few corners. The Italian up the inside, pushes the Russian wide, who now has the inside line and might just return the favour just here, right on cue. And he manages to stay ahead at that particular exchange. So Bobashev now drops into 9th place. Guarneri drops to 10th just there, number 39. Cairoli leads, he's 12.6 seconds clear of DeSalle. Tommy Searle is 3rd, de Dijker 4th. Gauthier Paulin is 5th, Xavier Bourg is 6th, Kevin Strybos is 7th, Van Horebeke is 8th. 9th is is Bobashev, and 10th now Guarneri. Nick Oban on the Bill Base Honda is in 11th place. And then we've got Max Nagel, teammate to Bobashev, he's in 12th. And there he is all over the back of Nick Oban, so he's had to work very, very hard. This moto has Max Nagel. Completely different scenario to that he found himself in 2009 when we were here last, picking up both race wins in this MX1 category. But Nick Oban, former Grand Prix runner as well, former 3rd place finisher in the World Championship in MX2, riding here as a wild card on his build-based Honda this weekend. They're in 11th place. Aranda is 13th. Cedric Soubirous is 14th. As the time screen refreshes itself, Cairoli, DeSalle, and Tommy Searle. Those 3 guys are 17 seconds apart, but DeSalle 4 seconds clear now of Tommy. Searle, who's up there in that bottom corner, here's Gauthier Paulin trying to find a way still past this number 9, Ken de Dijker, the Belgian on the Red Bull KTM. First race surely would have taken a lot out of Gauthier Paulin. Tried his best to relax and focus on the line at the start of the second moto, didn't get the best start, made a mistake on the first lap as well. At the end of this straight here, when he got tagged and ran into the rear wheel of Tommy Searle, Guarneri was able to find a way through, but Cairoli was already there at the head of the field. And you cannot give Cairoli that amount of time if you are to beat him in a race or a world championship. Oh, de Dijker leg off as he went through the ruts at the top of the hill. Hard on the brakes for Gauthier Paulin. Still going to be 1 point behind DeSalle in terms of the overall podium. Even if he finds a way past de Dijker, that would give him the 2 points actually that he needs to be sure of second overall in the Grand Prix. De Dijker nervous, Paulin going tight and looking to go down the inside. This time he makes it stick. De Dijker, he's hard on the brakes, but he's not going to deny Gauthier Paulin a route through into 4th place. This will be good enough for second overall now for Gauthier Paulin. Kennedy no. He'll be safe in 5th because Xavier Borg just there, a couple of seconds adrift in 6th place at the start of the wave section just behind him. So Paulin now has to maintain his concentration levels as a bit of a innovative line there from Dijker, dropping down the hill. On board with Cairo as he drops downhill. Hear the wind whistling through the mic on that camera as he heads back uphill. Nicely on the pegs, dropping down into that very tricky left-hander. That's where he lost the lead in the first race to Gauthier Paulin. See how choppy it is as well, coming out of there. Throttle controlled, absolutely imperative. On the live show that we had on MXLive.tv earlier, Elliot Banks-Brown was saying it's a weird corner actually because you really have to feather the throttle, almost blip it just to get out, get some drive going on because there's so many rocks and holes there. Of course, if you get a nice firm bit of ground, it's a little bit easier to get the power down. Otherwise, it's go slow to go fast type scenario. Cairoli, double single, jumping out to the bank. He's got 10 minutes remaining. Tommy Searle and Commander Sal still around about 4 seconds apart. DeSalle there in second on the Rockstar Energy Suzuki Wild MX1 machine. Here's Tommy Searle now. Is that 4 seconds this time around? Doesn't look like it, does it? Similar line to Tommy Searle, out to the bank. Dropping uphill into this tight right. Yeah, that's not 4 seconds, so Tommy Searle either maintaining his pace or Commander Sal maybe just slightly dropping back, but looking at the last lap, 53.9 for DeSalle, 53.2, so 3/4 of a second pull back there for Searle. So it might be game on for the Brit here to improve on that 3rd place finish in this second race. Might have to go after a 2nd place finish. There's Gauthier Paulin and Kennedy Dijker. So Paulin just has to stay ahead after Dijker now. Keep himself in that 2nd place in the overall Grand Prix. He'll be a point clear of DeSalle, but he will lose 7 points over the weekend to Tony Cairoli. Actually, he'll lose 4 points to Tony Cairoli. But this battle's still not done. It's almost as if Dijker has got a second wind here, as he goes back after the Frenchman, number 21, Gauthier Paulin. So Cairoli continues to lead. He's a Red Bull KTM rider, of course. He's almost 15 seconds clear of DeSalle. Then we've got 2 seconds, the gap between DeSalle and Tommy Searle. So as we said a moment ago, the battle between those two certainly looks like it's gaining momentum in the favor of Tommy Searle. Van Horbeek there, number 89 on the green Kawasaki. Teammates to Gauthier Paulin, going after Xavier Borg here. Looks to take the shortest route through the corner. These two are going to be fighting over 6th place in a minute. See the lap times there, slightly quicker. For Van Horbeek. Riding with a bit of a fever, he's been sick all week, as number 89, Jeremy Van Horbeek, enjoying riding in the MX1 category. There was a pretty electric atmosphere in Motown number 1. Seems to have fallen a little bit flat here in the 2nd race so far, because Tony Cairoli on course to picking up the victory, and of course the overall Grand Prix as Gauthier Paulin in fourth. Battling through from a poor start as Van Hoorbeek runs into the rear wheel of the 121. Xavier Borg, Casper Lingard, 2:15, just moves aside. Lets the leaders come through. Kevin Strybos just in the background on the yellow Suzuki now, doing his best to hang on to these two, but Strybos not really been at the races today. Van Hoorbeek up the inside though, gets the power down on that Kawasaki and finds a way past the 121 of Xavier Borg. So Van Hoorbeek now moves up in the 6th position. Gap between Clément de Sale and Tommy Searle gone out to about 3 seconds again. So Searle and de Sale, that one's still not done, but de Sale on the factory Suzuki. He's the one that's turned it back on again just to make sure he stays clear of Tommy Searle. And here is Tommy Searle in 3rd position. Let's see if we get the wide angle shot here. Well, there was de Sale just disappearing over the tabletop probably about now. And here is Tommy Searle. We're going down to pit lane, talk to Kawasaki.
JJ, Tommy's set to take his best moto finish of the year so far. You must be happy with his performance today.
Yes, we are very happy because since Portugal he broke his finger, it's not so good for the training, but now it's coming better, and we should see that when there is no problem, he can be suddenly top 3. And this rider is really very good rider, and it's a killer for me. Yes, very good.
Thanks, JJ.
Yeah, Jean-Jacques Lassetti. JJ. Goes by the name of JJ for some reason. Can't quite work that one out, but of course I'm only joking. He's more than pleased with the way that Tommy Searle's riding, as we all are really, because obviously he was more than capable in MX2 and not easy to step up to MX1, but he's having a pretty good go out there today. But it's Cairoli, de Sale, Searle, the top 3. Paulin is in 4th. Gauthier Paulin is around about 9 seconds down on Tommy Searle. That's the classification on the side there, as you see. Cairoli, de Sale, Searle, Paulin, de Dijker, Van Hoorbeek, Borg, Strybos, Bobryshev, Guarneri. There, top 10. But what a race for Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, who went down at the first turn, came around in 8th or 9th at the start of the first lap. So really took advantage of riders bunching up and using different lines. Not easy to do that, but he's obviously put himself in a decent position here because he's now in 6th place. Finished 4th in moto number 1. And that's probably going to be good enough for probably around about 5th place at the moment in the overall Grand Prix, as Max Nagel finds himself getting off the bike. That's the left-hander before the waves. Guessing he's lost the front end and gone up high, or maybe just overshot and ran on. But the track really starting to get chewed up now. Look how hard those bumps are coming out of this deep rut. The back wheel and the suspension just working overtime. The rider's obviously having to sit down at that point to get out of the turn. A lot of energy being forced up through your buttocks and up into the lower back area. These guys will feel it in the morning. A lot of upper body strength being used to pull on the handlebars. They go up the little short inclines there like that penultimate corner. But Strybos going after Xavier Borg. They're going to fight it out over 7th place in the closing stages of this race. Ooh. Almost through there for Strybos on the Rockstar Energy Suzuki, but Xavier Borg, Ice One Racing, KTM, number 121. Got his hands full here with number 22, Kevin Strybos, on the Rockstar Energy Suzuki World MX1 machine as they battle for 7th. Oh, Nagel down again. So going from bad to worse for Max Nagel. He was up inside the top 10, and then he's Not a nice place to go down there, look. Oh, handlebar in the minstrels and maybe even in the rib cage. And he crashed about a half a lap ago as well, did Nagel. Just got it completely wrong. Steep downhill into that left-hander. Suddenly coming to an abrupt halt. Well, he was down in 13th, unless he's just picked himself back up in 13th, actually. So not a good second moto for Nagel. He was fighting through the field as he picked himself up off the floor, got himself into the top 10, and then losing another couple of positions there. Meanwhile, Tony Cairoli over the line. He's completed 17 laps. So too has Clement Sal, 13.5 seconds behind the Sicilian race leader. Then 4 seconds back, pretty much exactly, is this guy here, number 100, Tommy Searle, for the CLS Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki squad. Then Gauthier Paulin, Kawasaki Racing Team rider. But a great performance from Searle, has to be said this weekend. Suddenly realising his potential in MX1 on what has been a very tough track physically to ride. And he's really got his act together here this weekend. DeSalle had a difficult first moto, but he'll be pleased with second here in the second one, and that'll give him third overall. As you can see, just being edged out by Gauthier Paulin, who, when he passed Kenda Dykert to get into fourth place, got him back onto the second step of the podium. But he'll be disappointed that he didn't make a good start. He'll be pleased that he's on the podium for the fans and all the rest of it, but yeah, knows he could have been maybe so much better. Tony Cairoli at the top of the hill. He'll drop down. There's your landing area. Can't quite see how deep those holes or ruts are from that angle, but from past experience riding around here, some things change, some things stay the same, and the lines and the ruts and the bumps are kind of bumps that the riders are faced with, hard and proper blister building on the palms of your hands if you're not protected. Oh, backhand just working overtime. Gauthier Paulin losing both legs as he came out of that left-hander. The NEG levels lower than they were in moto number one. Had to work very hard to get into fourth position in this second MX1 race. Two-lap board is out already. Went out 25 seconds ago for Tony Cairoli. He's got just enough of an advantage, about 3 seconds over Kenda Dykert. Van Hoorbeek goes through, so too does Xavier Bourg. Strybos still hasn't found a way through. Watch this, out of the turn. 1, 2, 3 holes. Legs off. One of those moments again. Riders won't really pay too much attention to that, but might choose a better line next time. Got a good style as Gauthier Paulin. Very efficient on the bike, the way that he pumps it. Uses his arms to soak up a lot of the bumps and compress to stay low over some of the jumps as well. But Tony Cairoli, his style has certainly been refined over the last few years, since 2009 when he moved to MX1. Had a very aggressive looking style in MX2. But the extra power allowing him just to be a little bit more relaxed on the bike these days. Clement Sal. Again, another tidy, smooth rider. Handlebars a lot lower than most guys. But Cairoli out of the final turn, getting ready to take the final lap board as it goes out on the left. He lands his Red Bull KTM inch perfect, pulls the tear off, goes past the work area, past pit lane, works his way back onto the start straight. Final lap then for Cairoli. He was second in moto number one, was pushed all the way by Gauthier Paulin, who was fueled by adrenaline. And the French crowd here having a little bit of fun there. Cairoli nicely scrubbing his way downhill just before the finish line jump. through the waves onto this plateau. Just hear him feathering the throttle there in third gear, just pop, 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 pop. Kid rarely does anything wrong. Just sitting back and watching him at the moment as he cruises around his final half lap. Supremely fit athlete, Tony Cairoli. Just working well with the bike. Him and the Red Bull Ducati team underneath that KTM awning. Obviously know how to prepare a motorcycle because Cairoli has won all of his world titles with Claudio Ducati. The first coming in 2005 in MX2, and 2007, 2009, all for Yamaha, of course, and then since 2010, 11 and 12, the other three coming on the 350 KTM. Tony Cairoli rounds out the final corner, and here at Ernée, he's going to take his 59th Grand Prix victory as he wins the French Grand Prix and pulls a nice stoppy downhill as well. Hard on the front brake. Journalists, photographers would have liked that. And they're waiting for him to just grab a quick word with his team. But DeSalle was second, Tommy Searle third. Gauthier Paulin, we're waiting for him to come over the line in fourth. Here's our winner. And there is Paulin.
You win the GP of France. A great performance from you there in that second race.
Yes, it was a very good race. I had a very good start again, and I could manage to pull some gap between me and the rest, so I'm really happy, and it's a good charge for next GP. It is in Italy, so very happy, and see you in Italy next week.
Well done.
Yeah, Tony Cairoli, he will arrive in Italy in a week's time, full of confidence. After winning the French Grand Prix here, earning round 8 of the FIM MX1 Motocross World Championship. Just nice little stoppy here on the front brake, look. Back end high, starts to swing around, release the front brake, drop the rear wheel. All about having a bit of fun with that guy, isn't it? So Cairoli then wins race 2. Clément DeSalle second, Tommy Searle his best finish in an MX1 race. He was third, but won't make the podium. Gauthier Paulin fourth, he will make the podium. Kadajka was fifth, Van Hoorbeek sixth, Xavier Borg was seventh, Kevin Strybos, Evgeny Bobashev and Davide Goneri rounding out the top 10 with Nick Oban, Rui Gonçalves and Max Nagel. After what was looking like a decent race for him from the back, after falling at turn 1, has to settle for 13th after 2 more falls during the closing stages of the race. Joel Roulants on the Monster Energy Yamaha was 14th, ahead of Gregory Aranda on the Bud Racing Kawasaki. Fabien Isouard, Loic Cléant, Cedric Soubirous, Mathis Caro, STR, KTM and Dennis Ulrich was your 20th placed finisher in MX1 Race 2. Crowd gather then down by the podium area because obviously we've got the skybox, the waiting zone, the podium all in the same place since we returned from Qatar, Thailand, the 2 first flyaway race of the season. Of course, the fans will make their way down there to see Gauthier Paulin on the podium, but official confirmation here of race 2. Cairoli, DeSalle, Searle, great ride for the Brit on the Kawasaki. 3 KTMs, 3 Kawasaki's in the first 6 or 8 places. A couple of Suzuki's in there as well. Those guys going out pretty much on the first lap at the lower end of the leaderboard. The overall Grand Prix though, Tony Cairoli Second in Moto number 1. A win here gives him 47 points in the second Moto. Paulin just edging out DeSalle for second, with DeSalle taking third overall this weekend.
Vous avez fait preuve, puisqu'à chaque fois vous avez répondu présent sur l'ensemble de ces manches, l'ensemble de ce championnat MX1, MX2, l'Europe également. Donc de très belles images vont rester gravées pour ce rendez-vous, cette nouvelle édition du Grand Prix de France ici à Ernée.
So the podium then reflecting the same overall result as we got in Thailand. Kai Rowley, Paulin DeSalle. It's also the same as what we have in the championship for those three guys. But for Tony Kai Rowley, it's win number 5 this year in terms of Grand Prix. The other 3 times he was second. It's not a bad consistency record, is it? And there is a look at the championship. Only one change in the top 8. Jeremy Van Horbeek moving up a position, but no change for Kai Rowley, Paulin DeSalle, Didika, Strybos, and the rest. It's Gonçalves who drops. Bobryshev climbs 3 though. And Bruneri and Borg also climb a position each.
2013. Quelques petites secondes et on va se retrouver pour le podium juste derrière la ligne de départ.
So we're getting ready to go down to the podium then. Monster Energy girls are in place. And third overall this weekend. It was a tough weekend. He didn't have a good qualifying, but he picked up a third in Moto number 1, a second in Moto number 2. Of course, the Rockstar Energy Suzuki World MX1 rider, Clément DeSalle of Belgium, will take the third step of the podium. Gauthier Paulin, second overall. Fans like that, they liked his performance and the way that he came home as a winner in Moto number 1, but he was second overall. Tony Kai Rowley, though, your overall winner for Red Bull KTM, with a second and a first here this weekend. Claudio De Carli will pick up the Manufacturers Award for KTM MX1. Jean-Claude Cleureux, Motocross Commission President of the French Federation, gives Clément DeSalle his third place trophy. Alessandro Levati, International Jury President, hands a second place trophy to Gauthier Paulin. Kawasaki Racing Team, Tony Kai Rowley will receive his winner's trophy, the 59th of his career, from Patrick Bertrot, the FFM treasurer. So the French Federation treasurer. And Claudio De Carli will pick up the winner's trophy for KTM for, well, heaven knows how many times he's picked up an award. Probably 59. Same as Tony Kai Rowley. Andre Gourdouin doing the honours there. But what a great Grand Prix for these guys. Tony Kai Rowley, Clément DeSalle, and Gauthier Paulin, with Paulin taking second, DeSalle third. But Dr. Wolfgang Strub, the FIM CMS director, handing Tony Kai Rowley another red plate. He continues to lead the championship after 8 rounds. He will be looking forward to going back home to Italy in a week's time to Maggiora.
L'hymne, bien sûr, dans un instant, pour cette session MX1 du vainqueur, l'hymne d'Italie.
National anthem for Italy for Tony Kai Rowley. Tony Cairoli wins for Italy, but KTM were winning manufacturers this weekend. National anthem for Austria. So Tony Cairoli then takes his 59th Grand Prix career victory. Clément de Sal and Gauthier Paulin, who finished 3rd and 2nd respectively, can only look on in admiration. But for Gauthier Paulin, though, it was almost the fairy tale. He was a winner in Moto number 1 after that intense duel with Tony Cairoli. Clément de Sal, he'll be happy to be on the podium at least, finishing in 3rd and 2nd this weekend. Bottles get thrown down to the mechanics. They'll enjoy a drink tonight, that's for sure. But as they sort themselves out and get off the podium, here's what happened in race 2. The gate dropped, Dyker was at the inside, but it was Tony Cairoli there right from the middle who snuck across, and from there was never headed. Never had any problems along the way. Gauthier Paulin, though, was finding his way through the field, but it was Xavier Bourg and Clément de Sal who made the early runnings. Tommy Searle was on the charge through the field, eventually would find his way up into 3rd place, passing Xavier Bourg along the way. Gauthier Paulin also found his way at the inside of Xavier Bourg, who would eventually finish down in 7th place. And he would also be overtaken by Jeremy Van Hoorbeek. There was a moment there for Gauthier Paulin, as he found his way onto the rear wheel of Ken de Dyker. But Tony Cairoli was just too good. Clément de Sal was comfortable there in 2nd position. Tommy Searle eventually came home in 3rd. Gauthier Paulin here came home in 4th with de Dyker in 5th. But Tony Cairoli was the maestro. Once again, as a checkered flag was waved, and he came home to win his 59th Grand Prix victory.
Tony, congratulations. You managed to hold on to that great start this time in the 2nd race. Are you happy with your overall performance this weekend?
Yeah, for sure, I'm very happy. You know, it's always nice when you win a GP, especially in France, the home of your main contender of the championship. So I'm happy, and this is a good motivation for next GP that is in Italy, and hopefully a lot of people come over for me and for the rest of the Italians, and it should be a nice race. Thanks to all my sponsors and to my family and everybody who supported me all the time.
See you in Italy.
Well, last year he won here in France, and it was Christophe Pourcel who won in Italy, so maybe even Gauthier Paulin will be looking to return the favour, the compliment, whichever way you want to look at it. But either way, for now, Tony Cairoli will enjoy his success at the French Grand Prix here at Ernée, and he will get himself prepared for a return home close to Milan and the Grand Prix in Italy at Maggiora. But it was a comfortable ride for him in the 2nd moto, completely different to what he had in the 1st race with a challenge from Gauthier Paulin. Paulin was 2nd, of course. He's down by the podium. Here he is with Amy.
Clément, how was the track out there today? Obviously, a more comfortable race for you.
Yes, finally it's good, you know, I make a podium, so it's a good result, but honestly the track, I really didn't enjoy it, and I think the preparation was not good, you know, like some take off with some words, and they don't make it fresh for the moto, and I think this could be better, but yeah, at the end I stayed on my 2 wheels and had a good result. It was good.
See you next weekend.
Well, normally Clément de Sal would have been up to speak next, but obviously being pulled left, right and centre by journalists all over the place. But Clément de Sal, yeah, 3rd overall this weekend, steady ride. Needs to keep putting in those performances though, start winning a few races, see where it gets him at the end of the season. But he and Paulin are in that battle for second place in the championship at the moment, because Tony Cairoli already starting to open up a massive lead at the head of the field. Hopefully we will we won't speak to Gauthier Paulin, but that's all we've got time for. My name's Paul Mellin. Thanks for joining us here in Ernée, round 8 of the FIA Motocross World Championship. Join us next week when we return to Italy and the legendary circuit that is Maggiora. Thanks for watching. We'll see you then. Bye for now.